Down there is downtown Port Townsend. Here's the ferry dock over here. So this used to be a fort, now it's a conference center. You can come and stay here. Welcome back to the channel. We're here at Fort Worden State Park, which used to be a fort, part of the Triangle of Fire, which is a whole different subject, but we're here to check this out. This is a primary location of where the movie An Officer and a Gentleman with Richard Gere and Deborah Winger and Louis Gossett Jr. was filmed back in, I think it was the 80s. Anyway, we're going to check this out and then show you some of the places I know where the movie was filmed. And there's some other places in town and around the county that were where it was filmed also. So anyway, stick with us. It's going to be an interesting video, and thanks for watching. Hey, we'll be back to the video in just a second, but before that, I just want to let you know that I really enjoy making these videos, and if you like this kind of content, can I get a sub and a like and maybe comment? That feeds the algorithm and gets more exposure to my channel. So, and again, thank you. All right, back to the video. Somewhere around here was the parade grounds that the cadets, naval aviators, cadets, paraded. And this movie was about Richard Gere and the other guy that I can't remember his name, who the actor was, but they were in boot camp to become naval aviators. And so this location was used as the boot camp training fort for their training. Those over there are officers' housing from back when this thing was a fort. This is, like I said, forms the Triangle of Fire, which protected the entrance to Puget Sound at Admiralty Inlet. Right now I'm looking east. This fort was the northeast corner of the triangle. Fort Casey on the east side on Whidbey Island formed the northwest corner of the triangle, and Fort Flagler on that peninsula down there to the south formed the southern point of that triangle. And these forts were built in the late 1800s, designed to protect Puget Sound and Puget Sound Naval Shipyard in Bremerton. And we're going to go out here around the corner and look at the gun emplacements. So, that over there is Fort Flagler. That over there where you can see the green and the cliffs is Fort Casey. There's a lighthouse right over here. There's a lighthouse right over there. All these are Washington State Parks. All these, 3 of these have camping, and we'll drive back by the campground because this one's pretty nice. The one over there is a lot smaller, but it's right on the water. We're gonna head up here and check out some of these gun emplacements. This is another site of the movie filming. The cadets, when physical training, were running down these trails around here. So this out here is the Strait of Juan Fuca. Goes out to the Pacific Ocean. That way's west, out past Port Angeles, Victoria, British Columbia is on over there on that side on Vancouver Island that you can't see in the fog. And if you head up that way, you head up towards the Straits of Georgia. And that over there is Whidbey Island. It's a pretty calm day today. This can get pretty rough out here. So here we are at Kinzie Battery. If you come out here to visit these, the gun batteries over at Fort Casey are way more impressive, and they have guns over there that were the original type for the area, for the fort that were in the Philippines, and after World War II they brought them back. So two of the batteries have the guns of the type that belong here. And these types of guns were the kind that the recoil would bring them back down below the wall to be reloaded. And these are the magazines and stuff. And if you do come explore, bring a flashlight. Kids love these places. But it is kind of hazardous as there's stairs with no hand railings. So obviously they would keep the brush down back in the day. There's the observation bunker. And you can see they got a clear line all the way out. So I don't know how many they have here, but these old fortifications are really interesting to explore. There's access from inside. These look like shell or powder lifts. track up there to haul the shells around. In there must be the, I don't know if we can see, it's too dark. Comes in through here. Probably heads over to the shell hoist. Somewhere along here. Maybe, I don't know. Well, here's the campground. I guess there's trails up that hill over there, which is kind of cool. This is one of the campgrounds. I think there's 3 here. There's 2 out here on the by the water, and I think there's one on the other side of the park in the woods. I'll try to get over that way. But there's this one, and then there's one over there. As you come in, we're the furthest north. Yeah, as you come into this lower area, there's a lot of drive-throughs, a lot of back-ends. Yeah, this time of year, this is January, beautiful day in January. But yeah, they got the water shut off. But they have full hookups here. So that's kind of nice, but yeah, there's lots of room between spots, as usual for state park. And lots of room in your spot. So yeah, this is this spot. You got a picnic table. So, oh, okay, so there's hill batteries up there. I don't know what Memories Vault is, but yeah, go up that trail. Might be a bit of a climb. It's a pretty big hill. The other campgrounds down there, like I said, here's a restroom, there's a restroom, and then over that way there's a day use restroom too. So water's over there to the east of us. It's kind of a berm between this area and the beach, so you can't really see the water from the campsites. Unlike Fort Casey on the other side, where the campsites are like right on the water. You can see the water. Fort Flagler, I don't know what those campsites are like. It's been years since I've been over there. And that's over there again. And downtown Port Townsend is down that way and around the corner. So, I don't know if you can see. Anyway, yeah. So, this is Fort Worden, part of the Triangle of Fire, and famous for filming of an officer and a gentleman. And there's a couple other sites in Port Townsend that I know were from the movie, where they filmed the movie. But we'll check those out. So this is building 200, which is the campground check-in. According to the interwebs, that is where the new cadets in the film were greeted. So that scene was filmed here in this area. It's a nice plaque. So yeah, all kinds of other scenes were filmed in these and around these buildings here at the fort. There's some other places in town we're gonna go try to find. And out there by the mill and I got footage of the mill. There was one of the houses that they was filmed at is no longer there on Mill Road. But yeah, we're gonna go in town trying to find some other spots. But this is a park worth visiting, even if you're not into movie history. It's in Port Townsend, Washington, on the Olympic Peninsula, west side of Puget Sound. This here in front of me is the hangar that in the movie Richard Gere's character and Louis Gossett Jr.'s character, the drill sergeant, had their fight to settle that grudge they had. But yeah, it happened over there in that hangar. I don't know what that hangar is originally used for. So this is Port Townsend Paper Mill, featured in Officer and a Gentleman, where the two lady characters in the film worked. And Richard Gere's character comes in, I believe, and gets her in the mill, comes to her in the mill, but I'm not quite sure. I don't remember too many of the scenes, but this was featured in the movie. So yeah. So here we are at the Tides Motel. It's been completely rebuilt. But this location is the location of the little funky motel that was featured in the movie. And I want to say it was like gray or blue at the time, but this thing has since been completely rebuilt. But I guess they still have something here called the Officer and the Gentleman Suite. So here we are at the boat basin, and right here, this building supposedly was a tavern that was in the movie Officer and a Gentleman. I don't remember exactly what, but interwebs say that's one of the locations. Port Hudson is the area down here. So here's some really cool ghost advertising on the side of this building. Old Durham smoking tobacco. I think that says Lewis Emporium. So yeah, here we are downtown Port Townsend. Gonna check out some of the architecture. It's pretty cool. Old brick buildings. And I was just wondering, we were driving down here, how many times this town burned down before they rebuilt in brick? Because here in the Pacific Northwest, wood was cheap and plentiful. So this supposedly used to be another tavern that was used in the filming of An Officer and a Gentleman. And this here is where the ferry used to get off back in the day, before they moved the ferry dock down the road. So we're going to wander around here and highlight some of the cool architecture. Here's some more old advertising on those buildings. First National Bank. Something about cracker factory? Grocery and provisions. Pretty quiet here in January. Summertime. Be lots of people here checking out these shops. Coming through. There's a neat old theater sign. The Rose Theater. Here's a better shot of this building. Shops downstairs, interesting. Okay, so that'll do it for here in Port Townsend. Thanks for watching. We've checked out downtown here, Fort Worden, and the sites of the filming of An Officer and a Gentleman. So thanks for watching. So this hotel is where we're staying tonight. It's called the Bishop. It's in an old brick building. Got a nice little wine shop below, and it's pet friendly. So we have our dog with us. Okay, here in Port Townsend, we just had dinner at Nico's Grotto Italian restaurant. Absolutely fabulous.